We have nothing to do. It's UCC that has brought us this far.
Mm. So let's start so that others will join. Then because last week we all
Okay.
agreed that we'll settle on this time. I don't know that along the line some of you are having class now. So we're going to unit section 5 of unit 1. We are dealing with the knowledge base for teaching. Knowledge base for teaching. And the knowledge base was propounded by Shulman in 1987. It was developed by Shulman in 1987. There are about 6, but recently one has been added, which is, I think, making it 7. 2, 4, which is making it 7. So remember that it was propounded by Shulman in 1987. And in no order of permanence or not, and in no order of special arrangement, he propounded this knowledge base for teaching. The reason the meaning of knowledge base is that he's saying that for every teacher to make an effective teacher, for teaching and learning session to be effective, you need to what? Be mindful of these 7 areas for teaching, which he calls knowledge base for teaching. You must be well abreast with them and know what they mean and apply them in order to have your teaching to be effective. So the first one he calls the content knowledge. We have talked about this last week. What do we say is content knowledge? If you have knowledge of the content or knowledge of the subject matter, what did we say it was? Yes, class. Okay, if nobody will talk, then I'll proceed. So we say content knowledge is the knowledge of what the materials you are going to deliver, the subject matter you are going to teach the students. So the content has to do with the subject matter, your area of knowledge, your area of specialization. For instance, in management, you are all management or prospective management teachers or management teacher trainees. So it means you will go and be teaching management. So you need to have adequate knowledge, in-depth knowledge of what? Management. When it comes to management, topics under management, you must be well abreast with them, very knowledgeable in them, so that what? You can effectively deliver your lesson. I made mention that if your content knowledge or knowledge of the subject matter is weak, it is likely that what you have a low confidence. Subject matter has a direct link with what? Confidence. So as a teacher, you must have deep knowledge. You must be well abreast of your content that you are going to deliver. That is why there's a need for you to prepare lesson plan. In preparing the lesson plan, you note what you are going to teach them, the objectives, the learning, teaching and learning resources, all those things. So let's move on to the next one, pedagogical knowledge. So having in-depth knowledge of the subject matter or the content is not enough. You need to have knowledge of the ways, the mediums, the strategies, and what methods to use to deliver the lesson. What kind of teaching method is best or is suitable or most appropriate for the topic you are going to teach? Some topics might demand what narratives, some may demand what lecture method, others demonstration, others role play, others brainstorming. So you must know the best and suitable approach or strategy to use to deliver the lesson for students to understand. If you have knowledge of the content, you master the subject matter and yet do not have the best approach to deliver the lesson, you will still not make an effective lesson. Your student may not understand what you are teaching. So please note this, that pedagogical knowledge means that what you note or employ the best appropriate or suitable pedagogy. In other words, methodology or approach or design or strategy to deliver the lesson. Is that okay? Now, let's look at some of the things you must do in order to enhance your pedagogical knowledge or your choice of or your use of all the strategies to teach. One is planning and preparation. I've spoken about the lesson plan. As a teacher, it is required of you. It is a requirement for you to prepare your lesson plan before you go to class for every topic you are going to teach. The reason is that you will know what exactly you are going to teach and know the best approach or strategy to use to deliver the lesson. Like I said earlier, if the lesson demands more of what narrative is something you are going to share, like a lecture method, then you need to employ a lecture method. Go and deliver the lesson. If you have to use narrative, then you have to use narrative. But if the topic is practical, that you have to do demonstration, you have to do role play. All those strategies. When you are planning the lesson, the particular objective will tell you that with this objective or with this particular lesson I want to deliver, I would have to choose this best approach or this approach. So that is why you need to take your pedagogical knowledge very serious. And you achieve that by planning and preparation of your lesson. Another way is inquiry teaching. Inquiry teaching. So as a teacher, you are going to deliver your lesson. You have the subject matter at hand already. So you need to employ what we call the inquiry teaching. It helps you it's more of a question and answers method to inquire from the student what they know, what they don't know, and to ask even yourself into retrospective questions. Ask yourself, what do I have to bring on board? How do I have to go about this? All those things. So during the pedagogical knowledge stage, you are able to be familiar with concepts and principles, change and its relationship with constructivism, and be able to assist your student to participate in the lesson. So inquiry teaching will tell you that what I'm going to teach, what are some of the things I need to know. You ask yourself questions, you know exactly what you are going to ask students and know the best approach to use. It will help you determine the best approach to use. Then we have so I said the inquiry teaching is more like question and answers. Then we come to cooperative or collaborative learning. So if you want to choose the best pedagogy and your objective demands that you must put students into groups, small groups, we call them large class and then small class participation. So you put them either in large groups or small groups in order to deliver the lesson. You employ that will ensure collaborative or cooperative learning among the students. As a management teacher, you want students to brainstorm on the types of businesses. You put them into groups. Okay, group 1, come out with the forms of business. Group 2, come out with the importance. Group 3, do this. So at the end of the day, you just collect or gather the ideas from them and then use to simplify the lesson. So one importance of pedagogical content and paying attention to that is that it employs or it promotes collaborative or cooperative learning. Then we have problem-based learning. Problem-based learning has to do with critically examining the thinking skills of the student. A question that is problem-based. Remember last week we learned about a lesson, problematic knowledge. You remember we learned about problematic knowledge, where we say that the lesson must not be mere abstract or just concept. It must enable students to think deeply the question
Yes, sir.
in order to answer, right? So problem-based learning,
Yes,
challenging the minds of the student, causing them to think critically. So if that is also a way of employing your pedagogical knowledge to promote your lesson. So you use a pedagogy or a method that will cause students to critically think, will challenge their minds to be able to employ ideas to answer the question. Then we have others, there multiple presentation, preconception and concept change, learning circles, instructional resources. If you are planning your lesson and we say pedagogical knowledge has to do with the choice of your strategies, it means that you will pay attention to your instructional resources. Because if you don't pay attention to your instructional resources, you may not be able to deliver the lesson appropriately. So that's why they say when you are going to class as a teacher, go with teaching and learning resources. Teaching and learning resources such as you are going to teach, what do you call it? Any topic in management, you are going to teach office management. You can bring some folders and other things that are used in office management, that are used in planning office management. So you bring some of those things to class. You bring some assets. You are going to teach about what? Sole proprietorship, their forms. You can bring certain goods to class. Gary, sugar, tight. You say, if I'm the only person selling these things, what is my name? So those are what we call teaching and learning or instructional resources. You bring them to class to demonstrate the lesson for students to learn. By that, you are employing what pedagogical knowledge to deliver your lesson. Then the next one I want to talk about is knowledge of the curriculum. Knowledge of the curriculum. Now, we know that curriculum is broad. As management teachers, we have management curriculum. Am I lying? Is that true? Have you seen the management curriculum before? Please, has anyone seen the management curriculum before?
Pardon?
Yes, sir.
We've not seen something.
Hello, sir.
So the schools you are the topics you are the subjects you are teaching in your school, have you seen their curriculum or their syllabus before?
Yes, sir.
So assignment for all of you, go and look for the management curriculum and download. It's online. The curriculum is broad. Out of the curriculum, we have the syllabus. Okay.
Yes, sir.
If you are not, you kindly mute. If you are not talking, you can. So out of the curriculum, we have the syllabus. So you must know your management curriculum. You must be abreast with the demands of the curriculum. So the curriculum is broad. It states the goals, the aims of the subject. Please, if you are not talking, only mute for me. Everybody should mute. Good. So I'm saying that with the curriculum, knowledge of the curriculum, it says that you must have adequate knowledge about the program you are teaching, the program of the school, and how they make use of the prospective management teacher, the prospective. And say in this regard, the prospective management teacher must possess a broad understanding of the practices of management, teaching as reflected in the aims, goals, and objectives. So the curriculum states the aims, the goals, and then the objective for teaching management. So as a teacher, you must know why you are teaching your student management. It is to develop managerial competencies in the student, to be able to manage their lives, manage their businesses two, and manage other aspects of their lives. Management in living. So you must know what is the broad goal, the broad aim, and the broad objective. So the aim is the broadest. Out of the aim, we have the goals. Out of the goals, we have the objectives. We'll come to that later. The aims are very broad. The aims of the curriculum, management curriculum. Then out of the aims, they derive the goals. Out of the goals, they derive the objectives. Where goals are long-term, objectives are short-term. So as a management teacher, you must know all those things. So Shulman is saying that to have an effective class, you must have knowledge of the curriculum for which you are being recruited to teach. The next one we'll talk about is, let me talk about this before I move to the next one. So we have pedagogical content knowledge. Pedagogical content knowledge. So this one combines the pedagogy as well as the content. In other words, it combines the content and the pedagogy. So we have explained content knowledge. I have explained pedagogical knowledge. I want one of you to tell me what pedagogical content knowledge means. Mr. Clement, do you want to help us? I see that the network is disturbing you, so you're on top of something. Are you on top of the mountain? Mr. Clement, have you climbed any mountain, Afajato? It's serious. So Clement is on top of the mountain before able to join the class. Wow. I think we have a representative from Code e-learning, they are watching. So they're also seeing where Clement is standing. Please don't fall, okay? Yes, class, I want one of you to explain to me what pedagogical content knowledge means.
So please, I want to try.
Please try.
Okay, so when we say pedagogical content knowledge, it is when the teacher is able to teach effectively a specific subject matter to the students, and the way they understand it, or the way the teacher understands it or presents it for easy understanding.
Any other person? That's fine. One noted rules.
Yes, sir.
So when we say content knowledge means that the teacher must have adequate knowledge of the subject matter the content is going to deliver, isn't it? And we said what pedagogical knowledge means that the teacher must have knowledge of the ways, the means, the strategies, the methods to employ in order to deliver the content. So when we say pedagogical content knowledge, we say the teacher must have both knowledge of the content as well as the ways, the means, the strategies, the techniques, the methods to deliver the lesson. So this one combines the. Is that okay? Pedagogical knowledge means that the teacher must have knowledge, in-depth knowledge of the content, the subject matter, the area of expectation, as well as have knowledge of the most appropriate or important or suitable approaches, strategies, methods, or means to deliver the lesson or to teach the lesson to the student to understand or to their understanding. Please, do we get it?
Yes.
That is pedagogical content knowledge. So we move to the next. We've talked about knowledge of the curriculum. We are going to what? Knowledge of the learner. Understanding of your student. See, as a teacher, you must understand your student. You must have adequate knowledge of your learners. If you don't know the learner's interest, you will not know what to the lesson or the objective to select for your student. You may just stand up and say, let's learn this, let's learn that. But if you know your learners, you understand their learning needs, able to select the best appropriate topic or learning, what do you call it? Instruction. Select the best instruction for them. So knowledge of the learner has to do with or knowing the age of your learner, interest of your learner, maturity of your learner. So if you know that the interests of my learners are in this area, then you'll be able to select the appropriate sort of teaching activity for them, instructional activity. That's what I was looking for. Instructional activity for them, or learning experience that they must perform. Is that okay? So
Yes, sir.
you must have knowledge, adequate knowledge of your learners, the interests of the learner, the age of the learner, the maturity level of the learner, and all that, so that you will know what type of learning experiences to select for your students. So you see that some of your students, per their age, the grammar you are using will not project the lesson well for them. So in that sense, you advise yourself to use a grammar that is at their level. Is that okay? So you must have knowledge of their physical, psychological, and cognitive characteristics. That is why you did educational psychology, to know the developmental stages of learners, so that you can choose a learning experience which is which commensurates their interest. They are learning. That's fine. Then the next one is knowledge of educational goals and their philosophical basis. Knowledge of educational goals and their philosophical basis. So I'm asking this question again. Those who didn't join class last week, they will get it wrong. Maybe they might get it right. What is the general philosophy of education, of teaching and learning in Ghana? The general philosophy or the general goal of education in Ghana? If you know, unmute and talk. Hello, what is the general
Sir,
goal?
the goal is
The general
to bring about a change in behavior.
If we were in physical class, I would have asked that they clap for you. So we said this what change in behavior or relative change in behavior. So you must know the educational goals and their philosophical what basis. In that, if you know that that is what the nation is in need of, the nation wants engineers, the nation needs doctors, the nation needs what teachers, the nation needs what do you call it, lawyers. Then you will be able to channel your teaching and learning towards that goal, towards the achievement of that goal. So whatever you are teaching in management, know that what you have to know the educational goal and the philosophy. When we say philosophy, what is the underpinning idea of that what subject you are teaching? Why are you teaching that subject? Why? The question is why. What underpins the study of that what subject? Why is the government asking that go and teach management or students should learn management? You must be abreast with all that. Is that okay?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Okay. Then we have knowledge of what? Educational context. Knowledge of educational context have to do with knowledge of your school, your community, your culture, the classroom, the educational context, the context in which what you are educating or you are teaching your student. You must have knowledge of what? The organogram, in other words, the structure of leadership in the school. If there is an issue as a teacher, who do you report to? Do you go straight forward to the headmaster academics or the headmaster administration or the overall headmaster? Or you have to first talk to your HOD. You have to know all those things. You have to have knowledge about your classroom management, school relation, teacher-teacher relation, student-teacher relation, the community you are teaching. Remember, I told you last that your education does not occur in vacuum. It occurs in a society. So you must know the society, know the culture of the society. So that if you are in a Muslim community, you don't make you don't cite certain examples that are against their belief, their religion. When you're in a Christian community, you don't make certain examples that are against their religion. When you're in a traditionalist setting, you don't make certain assumptions or certain illustrations that would frown on their religion. So knowledge of educational context means that have knowledge of the school, have knowledge of the classroom, have knowledge of the community which the school is, and know also about the culture of that word community. Is that okay?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So there is no, you see, unlike Nigeria, they practice what we call the federal system. Every state has their own curriculum. But in Ghana, we practice what we call the fidelity approach to what? The unified system or unified framework. In other words, the fidelity approach to what? Curriculum implementation. So one curriculum runs throughout the country. So it's up to the teacher who is the implementer to know that the community I find myself, the school I find myself, I must go about it this way in order to what? Promote teaching and learning. Any question at this point? I've already talked about the pedagogical content knowledge. We call it PCK. E, pedagogical, C, content, K, knowledge. I've already talked about it. Although it is the last, I said there is no special arrangement for it. However, for the purposes of what? To easy remembrance, you can link it so that you'll not be confused. So you talk about content knowledge, you talk about pedagogical knowledge, then you talk about pedagogical content knowledge, you talk about knowledge of what? The curriculum, knowledge of your learners, knowledge of what? The educational goals. Then we finally talk about knowledge of what? The educational context. So let's move on. We are moving on to the nature of teaching, and we are talking about the phases of first year teaching. First year teaching. Let me see how many of you are teaching for your first time. This is the first time you entered into a school to teach. This is your first time teaching. Maybe you've just been employed in a school to teach? Or how many of you are teaching? Are you all teaching?
No.
Yes, sir.
No,
Some
sir.
of us.
Mm.
Okay. So those who are teaching, when you entered the school the first time, how was it like? When you were served the appointment letter, you were given an appointment letter and you started teaching in your first month or first few months, how was it like? What was the feeling like? What was the feeling? Anyone to help? Okay. So we have the phases of first year teaching. So when you are recruited within a year, as a teacher, there are several stages you will go, and you need to be aware so that when you go, you will not be overwhelmed. You will know that, oh, you've been taught these things or you've learned them. So you'll be able to manage and know what to do. So we have the first phase called the anticipation phase or stage. Phase means or stage. So we have the anticipation stage. Anticipation in English means what? You are anticipating how the term will be like. You are anticipating how the days going forward or the days ahead will be like, isn't it? So that period is mostly the first few weeks. So as you are recruited, as you are employed into the school, the first few weeks, not into a month, not yet into a month, the first 2-3 weeks. That's what we call the anticipation phase or stage. Now, what are the characteristics of the teacher? As a teacher employed and who started teaching within the first few weeks, what are the characteristics you are likely to observe or to see the teacher exhibit? One is the new teacher enters with tremendous commitment to make a difference. You know, when you get your employment like that, you are happy. Yeah, I'm going to make an impact in the classroom. I'm going to change my student. They will know that, hey, I am from UCC. I am very good. I'm being rough. You are filled with what? The powers. You are filled with the energy. You are filled with what? Tremendous energy, high energy to make a difference in the class. So you are happy that you are coming to bring in a change in the school. Everybody will hear of you, that you are not from other schools, but what? The #1 university in West Africa and in Ghana. So that is the characteristics of the teacher within the first few weeks. And the typical teacher concerns or concentration is what? Idealistic view of teaching. When we say ideal, the ideal teacher or the idealistic view, what comes to mind? I mean, you want to talk? They say the teacher has an idealistic.
The teacher has an idea of what he is going to teach.
Very well. I would have clapped for you if you were in what? Our own class, face-to-face class. So the teacher has ideas. So the teacher is full of ideas. He's only thinking, hey, this is how I will do things. This is how I'm going to do things. This is how I'm going to change things. This is how I'll go about my teaching. This is how I'll go about handling my student. I will love my student. I will come to school early. I will teach things very well. The teacher is just having what? Ideas, hope, optimism. Optimism. Is that okay? The teacher is having so much insinuation, thinking into the future, projections about how things will be done, because the teacher has not actually experienced how the thing is. So he's just thinking about how will be carrying him or herself out in the school. So remember that the first phase is called anticipation, and it happens within the few first weeks of what? The recruitment or the employment. Then the teacher will enter into the class or the school with what? Tremendous enthusiasm, commitment to make a difference. And the teacher is mostly having what? Idealistic view of teaching. Then the second stage or phase we call survival. The survivor, so the teacher has progressed beyond what? The first few weeks and have entered into the first month. Now the teacher is in the first month, has spent about some 3-4 weeks, and is now in the first month. So what would be the characteristics of that teacher? Sale, country broke or country no broke or we all with inside. I can't kill myself. My students are difficult. The school, they are not helping. The school, they are not helping at all. The teachers, other teachers will not come to school. Very soon you are overwhelmed. You are overwhelmed with what? The responsibilities. You are struggling. You are trying to keep your head above water. When they say someone is trying to keep the head above water, what's the meaning? You see that when you are swimming, at a point you have to come out and breathe. You have to come up and breathe. If not, you what? You suffocate and you die. So right now the school is choking you. They choke you. So you are already overwhelmed. Is this the school I wanted to come? Why is it that the students are difficult? Why is it that the teachers too are creating problem for me? Why is it that the headmaster is not understanding me? Already you are overwhelmed and you are struggling to keep your head above water. That happens within the first month. And over there, one thing that the teacher is seen to be doing more is that the teacher will be doing what we call day-to-day planning and teaching. Planning and teaching. Because the teacher is struggling, the teacher wants to plan everything so that his stress can reduce, his or her stress can go down, so that he or she will not be overwhelmed. So you see that the teacher will be planning the day-to-day lesson. The teacher will be coming to school with lesson plan, because the teacher doesn't want to overstress. Is that okay? So that is the second phase. Then the third phase we call the delusionment. Please, can you mute Ruth? Can you mute for me if you are not talking? The feedback.
Okay.
Yes, delusionment. Delusion, or is from the word delusionment is from the word delusion, and it happens within 2 months into a year. So you started 1 year, 2 months. Remember the anticipation is what? The first few weeks. Survival is the first month. Then within the second month, the teacher is experiencing what we call delusionment. And the teacher begins to ask himself questions about their own commitment and competence. So moving beyond the overwhelming stage, the struggling stage, now the teacher begins to ask himself a lot of questions. Did I really want to teach? Or do I really want to teach in life? Do I want to become a teacher? Can I really teach? Can I continue this thing? This struggle, coming to school early and closing late, being in traffic. Hey, am I competent enough to teach this? Do I have the courage? The teacher will begin to question his or her commitment and competence at within the 2 months at the delusionment phase. So within that phase, you see that the teacher will be experiencing what we call classroom management difficulties. So you see that the teacher will now come to class, stop talking, hey, you, get up, hey, come in here, you, Adra, hey. You see that classroom management difficulties are setting. You, hey, stand up, hey, you, sit down, hey, come on, hey. You see the teacher will be shouting at the top of the voice on the student and having difficulty as to how to manage the classroom appropriately. So we call that phase delusionment. And it's within the second month, the teacher is questioning his commitment and competence, and the teacher is having difficulties with managing his or her classroom. Then when we move beyond the second year, the second month into the first 6 months, that is almost half of the year. So the teacher has moved from first few weeks, moved from 1 month, moved from second month, is now within middle of the year. That is the first, the 5-6 months of the year. You see that stage, we call it the rejuvenation stage or phase. Rejuvenation means that the teacher is rising slowly, is getting over the difficulties, is getting over the struggles, because the teacher has studied the system now. It's been 6 months, 5 months, 6 months already. So the teacher is now getting momentum. It's now being abreast of the things that happen in the classroom, the struggles. So we call it rejuvenation. Is getting out, is being energized. Another word for that is being energized to continue. Is being able to have knowledge of the various things that happen within the school. So this is how I can overcome it. So within that stage, you see that the teacher begins to focus on curriculum development, long-term planning, and teaching strategies. So the teacher now knows that to be able to overcome these difficulties I'm experiencing, especially at the delusional stage and then the survival stage, I need to what? Get deep knowledge on my curriculum and plan how I'll go about my lesson within the term or within the year. I have to what? Organize my things in this way, from simple to complex, from easy to hard or difficult, so that my student can flow along me or move along with me. So you see that at this stage, the teacher is putting in measures including developing a curriculum. The curriculum that has been given to him or her is now developing a scheme of work, or from the syllabus, is putting things together in place. And the teacher is having a long-term plan. So I'll teach this from today, tomorrow I'll teach this, tomorrow I'll teach this, next week I'll teach this, the following month I'll teach this. It's now planning her activities in order to overcome the challenges that he or she has encountered. Then fast forward, the teacher moves into what? The 10th month. From half of the year, which is 5-6 months, the teacher is now within the 10th month. It means that the teacher is getting to the end of what? The year. At that stage, we call it reflection. Now the teacher sits down and reflects on the semester, reflects on the term. Okay. So within this period, you see that the teacher is invigorating, or the teacher is having an invigorating time for what? New teachers, or what do I call it? It's an invigorating time for the new teacher. So that new teacher that has come, that has gone through all the phases, is now getting over the storm. It's now being what? Equipped. It's now being relieved. Let me use that word. It's now being relieved. So we call it the invigorating moment for the teacher. So the teacher is now relaxed. It's now having control. You see, this one, I'm in control. The teacher will say, now I'm in control of what? Everything. I now know how things go in the school. So that moment becomes the reflection. So with reflection, you see that the teacher will reflect on the successful events and the unsuccessful ones. So the teacher will reflect, okay, so during the term, what were some of the challenges I encountered? Okay, I encountered challenges with what? Recalcitrant students, incorrigible students who were not, students who were misbehaving in class, misdemeanors. Okay, and this was how I was able to manage it. I used technical ignorance. I punished those who were misbehaving. Okay, when the students were not understanding the lesson, I changed the methodology. I brought in what? Some teaching and learning resources. So the teacher is reflecting. So at that moment, the teacher will be like, okay, so now I have control over the term now. I have control over the school now. I now know what to do and what not ought to do, what I ought not to do. Is that okay? Then the teacher begins again. The teacher is anticipating for a new term, a new semester to begin all over again. So we get back to the anticipation. Remember, the first stage was what? Anticipation stage. So over here, the teacher, after reflection, the teacher goes back to what? Anticipation stage again. That is getting to the end of the school year. So the teacher is already anticipating, how is the new semester going to be like? How is the new term going to be like? I've now seen how things are done. So I can't wait. I can't wait for the new semester to start so that I'll handle my students well. This time around, I will overcome. I will refuse to succumb to the pressures. I will overcome every challenges within the school. So we say, the teacher is having vision for what? The next term or the next semester, the next year. And over there, it is nothing but the feeling of excitement, fulfillment, satisfaction. Are we clear?
Yes, sir.
So any question?
Hello, sir.
Yes, any question?
Yeah, please. Please,
Hey.
the reflective stage.
Yes.
Can the teacher also ask the learners maybe to write, maybe take a sheet of paper if maybe you are the upper grade that your learners can write? Can the teacher also ask the learner to write things that he or she has done well and those that he has not done well?
That is very excellent. It's a good question. So as part of the reflection, you can't do the reflection alone. You are not teaching yourself, you teach your students. So while you are also reflecting on the things that were challenges to you, you may not know it all. So you may want to go to your student and ask them to also note the things that were challenges for them during the lesson and those that they enjoyed, so that you can use that to better guide yourself. Is that okay?
I think.
Yes, it's part of the reflection. You want to know things that were successful, things that were not successful. Any other question? Okay, so let's move to Unit 2, teaching techniques. So remember that we talked about Shulman's knowledge-based teaching, and we made mention of pedagogical knowledge. And we said pedagogical knowledge has to do with the strategies, the techniques, the methods you use to teach your student. So section 2 is now talking about teaching techniques, invariably teaching pedagogies. Are you clear? So now let's look at some of the strategies or the techniques you use in delivering your lessons. Remember, I told you earlier that there is no one or all best or all-rounded technique for teaching. There is no one best technique for teaching. The best to do is to incorporate or to blend every lesson and the best technique or techniques that will drive the lesson home. Are we clear? So if you are teaching forms of businesses, you cannot say that demonstration lecture method is better or is the best. You can blend lecture method with question and answers by asking them, okay, have you been selling anything? Have you sold anything before? Are your parents selling anything? So they will tell you, yes, my parents sells fish, my parents sells this, my parents, me myself, I sell this, I sell that. Then you pick it from there. So that's question and answer. Then now you ask them to demonstrate so you see you are blending. So let's go back. There are several methods of teaching or techniques for teaching. One key method that we often use is the lecture method. When we say the lecture method, it is basically the teacher being at the center stage. The teacher is a sage on the stage. The teacher is the main source of knowledge. In other words, is the sole repository of all knowledge. So the teacher is delivering the lesson, and students are listeners, passive listeners. So in as much as possible, try to make your student active participant and not passive participants. Let them play roles, let them take part in the lesson. Don't always be the active one and the student passive ones. When we say active and passive, I hope you understand.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So what does it mean when you say if the person is a passive participant and the person is an active participant?
So with the passive, the lecturer is just talking to them, listening. They are not given the opportunity to also contribute. But for
Good.
the active, you are allowing them to come in to know the what do you call it? How far you are going. So they'll go along with you. They will not be left
Very
behind.
well. Very well. Clement, I can see your hand
Yeah.
up. Tell us something.
Yeah. So when we talk of the active, it means you are engaging the learner. You are interacting among them. So
Wow.
then they are giving you feedback on what you are teaching about. But the passive is just about they are reluctant, just listen to what you have for them, and that is all.
Can you allow me clap for you?
Oh, sir.
Okay, so that is very excellent. That is very excellent.
Okay.
Yes, in addition to what Awiniboya said, you explain further, so I'm good to go. So basically, that's the lecture method. With the lecture method, the teacher is the repository of all knowledge. He's the custodian of knowledge. In other words, the masterpiece. He has all the knowledge about the topic. So he stands there and he's active, and the students are passive. The students are just listening, like you explained. They are not being engaged. The teacher is doing everything. So it is not wrong to use a lecture method. However, it is wrong to use only the lecture method, because if you do that, you may even find out that some of your students are sleeping in the class. So anytime you see your student dozing or sleeping in class, know that Your lecture method is over them. They are tired with the lecture method. So some topics demand that you use the lecture method because students may not have idea about what that topic. They may not be well abreast with that. It may be something new to them. So it is okay that you introduce the thing to them. Then you do what we call scaffolding. Who remembers what we said scaffolding was? In our last week lecture, we say scaffolding. What does it mean?
Yes, you talked about scaffolding. You were saying that
Yes.
you only begin the process. If it's an activity, you can begin the process and allow them to continue.
Can I clap for you? Okay. So interesting. That is it. Scaffolding means what? You begin the thing, you start, and then you allow the student to take responsibility and continue. You don't do it for them. You don't stand and tell them everything. And you say, okay, we'll meet next week. Bye-bye. No. So the lecture method is not wrong, but be advised how to employ it. Then our next teaching technique is for the question and answer method. Oftentimes, as teachers, we have been using this in our classes, in our lessons, but we've not been paying attention to it. It's actually a teaching technique where you ask your student question and you let them answer. They ask you a question, you answer. So compared to the lecture method and then the question and answer method, which one is more passive? Which one is more active?
Yeah. The question and answer method is more. The question and answer method, the questioning method is more active.
Yes.
Than the lecture one. The lecture one is rather passive.
Okay, Celestine, what do you also have to say?
Sir, please, it's the same thing. The question and answer is more engaging, so it's the active one. But the lecture method, only the lecturer that talks, so it is the passive one.
Okay. Believe, what do you have to say?
Hello, sir. They have said it all.
They have not said it all.
It's only the lecturer that do the talking, and the learners are listening.
Okay.
With the active, the learners are following the teachers he or she presents.
Okay. Lordina, let's hear you.
Sir.
Yes.
Sir, I think the question and answer one is the active one. And the lecture method is the passive one because the lecturer will only do the talking.
Okay. And then Ibrahim Zinabu. Yes. Okay, Lordina, I've heard you. Ibrahim, who is that? Who just called?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yes, the question and answer method is the active one because the lecture will engage the learners, and then the lecture method is
the lecture method is the what?
It's a passive one. Yes.
Okay. Maudem, are you there? Masiku. Maudem, are you in the class? Okay, so let's proceed.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, I'm around.
Okay. So which answer do you also have to give?
Yeah, same thing that my colleague have said. The question and answer is the active, and then the lecture one is the passive.
Okay. So that is it. So we have been using question and answers in our class, as I said, where we enter class. How many of you have a business? How many of you have seen a company before? How many of you have seen a table before? That's question. Then you raise your hand and talk. Then you ask, what do you think about this and this? Then you also talk. That's question and answer. It's a technique used for teaching, but it is more engaging and more active than the lecture method. So let's move to the next one, discussion method. So we have the discussion method also as what? A technique of teaching. So you go to class and you say, okay, today we are coming to what? Discuss about what topic? Law of contract or contract law. We are coming to talk about contract law. So now let's discuss. When we say contract, what means? Then you see that somebody will stand up and talk. Another person will stand up and talk. So in that case, you are using what we call discussion method, where you bring up the topic and let students discuss. Discussing goes beyond what? Question and answers. Do you get it? Because you allow the student ample time to what? Talk more about the issue or about the topic or about the question you ask. In that way, you get to know students' level of understanding about the topic before you even start. So you start and realize that from what you have discussed with the student through the discussion method, they are well abreast with the thing already, so you don't even need to waste time on it again. But remember that these methods depend also on the time available, resources available, the time. So the choice of these methods are dependent or is dependent on what? The resources available. So you have only what? Half period, and you are using discussion method. It means you won't get anywhere and the time will be over. But if you have double period and you think that you can allocate few time for discussion, it's a good technique. It will help you explore students' ideas about the topic. Is that okay?
Yes, sir.
So I want one of you to discuss what the teaching process is. When we say the teaching process, discuss within 1 minute or 30 seconds. Yes, 30 seconds. Discuss when we say teaching process, what does it entail? Or I should call names. I'm calling Dorothy. Dorothy, when we say teaching process, what does it mean? Oh, Dorothy has run away at once. Dorothy, are you there?
Yes, sir, I am here.
So when we say teaching process, what are the components of the teaching process? Discuss the component of the teaching process. What will you say? Anybody to redeem? Okay. Yes, who wants to talk? Dorothy, you want to talk?
I want to try.
Then try.
Preparation or planning.
Okay, preparation or planning. Okay, you've done well. So Nat, are you there? Nathaniel? Discuss the teaching process, Nathaniel.
Okay, preparation is one, and also the method you are going to use is also another method, way of teaching process.
I like the confidence with which you are deceiving me, but I will take it. Yes, Sylvester. Sylvester, when we say discuss the teaching process, what are the things you talk about? Sylvester, are you there? Because of our time, we will rescue them.
Master, I'm there.
Okay, Master, tell me. Master, tell me what the teaching process entails.
Master, that part I didn't get it well.
Okay, Master, I will come back to you. Yes, who will redeem the class?
The teaching process.
Let me try.
Okay, then let me.
Yes, Aturiba, let Ruth try, then you come in, okay? Yes, try.
So please, we have the planning.
Mm-hmm.
We have organization.
Mm-hmm.
Organizing, yes. Implementation.
Okay, thank you for deceiving me. Yes.
Evaluate. Pardon?
Thank you for deceiving me. Yes, thank you for deceiving me. Awini Yoba, Awini Boya.
Awini Boya.
So I'll be calling Awini. Awini, I beg, okay? Accept Awini
Yes,
for
okay.
me. Yes.
So it entails three components. That is the teacher, the subject matter or the content, then the learner. So the interactions that take place between the teacher, the content, how the teacher is able to transfer the content to the learner. So these three, what do you call it, pass and teaching process.
If you were in class, I'd have given you a cane to last the whole class. To give everybody one. So that is it. It means that last week you were not paying attention and you said you understood. How can you forget in just few days? That is what Awini said. We said the teaching process entails the what?
Please,
the
some
teacher.
of us wearing here last week.
You okay?
We
So
didn't
I'll
know
take.
that.
Oh, sorry about that. So please go and read, okay?
Okay, sir.
Because of time, we will not go back. So let's go to the next method. The next method of teaching. The next method of teaching is brainstorming. Brainstorming. When we say brainstorming, what is it? The brainstorming method. Has any of you done brainstorming in your class before? Have you asked your student to brainstorm before? See, I want to make the class interactive. Yeah. I can talk and run away.
Yes, brainstorming. When
okay,
you ask the question and you ask the children to rack their brains and bring out ideas.
Okay, who is talking? Is that Ruth?
Ruth.
Very excellent. Yes, Dorothy, let me hear you.
The same thing. It's when you ask them question and give them some time to think about it and give you the answer.
Exactly. So brainstorming is basically what? Student activity. It is more centered on student and the teacher. The teacher gives student a question or a problem question or a normal question, a probing question, and ask the student to put themselves into groups. So remember that the student must be in groups, small groups. Let's say group of 5, group of 4, group of 5, group of 4. Then you give them the task and you ask them to brainstorm and come out with what? Ideas or bullet the ideas. Then when they are done, you give them time to do that. When they are done, they will have a group leader. You, the teacher, you ask each group leader to mention the points they have been able to bring out. Then you write all their points on the board. You don't take any out. Then after writing all their points on the board, then you now begin to engage the student by asking the whole class, is this one correct? Is this one true? The group will explain, yes, it's not. Yes, it is. Then you, the teacher, you guide them. Either you delete it or you maintain it. So those that are appropriate, you maintain. Those that are not appropriate, you delete them. Is that okay? So at the end of the day, you now settle on what? The appropriate ones. And if you have more to add, you add it so that students will take note of. That is brainstorming. It's a technique for teaching. So you have just summarized your whole lesson within few minutes. And you see that a student was centered. Please, do you get that?
Yes, sir.
Do you get that? So
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
There are other methods, a lot of methods that you can use. We have role play. Have you heard of role play before? Role play, where you invite a specialist.
Yes.
So you invite a specialist. Let's say you are teaching about companies. Then you go and invite the registrar of companies to come and take that part for the student to really understand the practical part of it. Or you are teaching festival and you go and call the Ochami to come and handle that part. Describe how their festival, the Homuo is celebrated, the Hogbechuchu is celebrated, the Fetu Afashe is celebrated, the Kundum is celebrated. So the delegation or a specialist from the the palace will come and handle that. You are teaching office management and you go and call the administrator. You call the administrator. If you are not talking, kindly mute for me. You call the administrator to come and teach how office management is done. So the office management topic is now taught by what? An expert, a specialist or an expert. That is what we call resource personnel. That is rather what we call what the use of resource persons or resource personnel. Okay, the role play has to do with the person coming to demonstrate how it is done. Are you getting it? Or you can even use your own student to do a role play. You let them act. You see that play we have been playing that come and act like Father Christmas. Come and act like you are in an office receiving guests. You are what, a receptionist receiving guests. So that is basically, we say the person is acting the role, is inside the role. But when we bring the expert to come and what, demonstrate or teach us on how the thing is done, then we are using what, resource personnel. We call them what, resource. They are resourced. They are well equipped. Not that they are better than the teacher, but that's their area of specialization. So they'll be better, or they'll be well equipped to what, say some things that you, the teacher, you may not what, know about. It's a way of what, it's a technique of teaching. Please, are we clear?
Yes, sir.
Are you confused?
Understood.
Okay, we have others like narrative. So it's like storytelling. You let the person come and narrate. So you are teaching something on law of agency or government institutions, and you come and ask somebody to narrate how the police do their work. So you see that student will come, and police, when they hear a thief, they will come, then the student will narrate, or you, the teacher, you will narrate. So that's what we call narratives. So there are a lot of them. I will admonish you to read on them, okay? There are a lot in the books as well. So at this point, any question before we move on?
Hello, sir. Hello.
Yes. Hello.
Sir. Please, hello, sir.
Hello, Akai.
My school, we're doing career day. We're doing career day in my school, and we invited resource persons like lawyers, police to come and explain to the learners. So are they role play or resource person? I don't understand.
Okay, so at that point, they are resource persons or personnel. Are you getting it? Resource personnel are experts, professionals. Okay, that are in that area. So when you invite them, we call them what? Resource personnel. You are brought in the resource persons. Are you getting it? But the role play is when you invite the person to come and act. Let's say you can even use students. You yourself, you can even use role play. You are acting the thing, you are asking the student, what am I doing? Or Kofi, come and act like the police arresting a thief. Then the student acts without talking. Then you ask the class, what is the student doing? Say he's acting like a police arresting thief. Or several examples. Or the student is arranging things and acting like a secretary. And you ask the student, what is the student demonstrating? Then they say, what, the student is a secretary arranging the office. That's what we call role play. You play the role. Okay, you play the role of someone.
Okay, thank you, sir.
You are welcome. So please take note that when you are using the lecture method, there are processes you must go through. There are stages you must go through. One is for the introduction. First, you must introduce the lesson to the student. Your lesson must have an introduction. In other words, some people use RPK. What's the meaning of RPK? What's the meaning of RPK?
Relevant previous knowledge.
Relevance previous knowledge. Dick, okay. So that's previous knowledge, meaning that what? You are bringing in experiences. You are connecting with your student prior experiences or the things they've known already that are relevant to the subject you are teaching, the topic you are teaching. Okay, so that could form part of your introduction. Or you are going to teach about what? Forms of business or the sole proprietor. And you now start by saying that I am a sole proprietor, I am somebody. I have a tray, I have a knife, I have an orange. I went to buy the orange and I sit at the canteen and I peel it and I sell to students. When I close, all the money is mine. Who am I? You see, you are using an introduction as well as a question and answers, as well as what role play. You are blending a lot of teaching techniques to promote the lesson. So in that way, you are introducing the lesson to the student. So normally, the introduction stage is more passive than what active, because the teacher is the one to introduce the lesson. So students at that stage may be listening to the teacher other than what also participating, because the introduction stage is like the primary, the early stage of the lesson. So the teacher comes and he says a brief thing about the topic. However, introduction does not entirely mean that you do not engage your student. You cannot employ their views by making the class or more engaging. Are we clear on that? So when you introduce the lesson to the student, then you move toward the preparation stage. There are a lot of things to do at the preparation stage. Before you outline the main points and organize them in orderly manner. So you are preparing the student's mind to understand what you are teaching. You plan examples and illustrations. So as part of what your lecture method, you have your introduction that you are going to give the student. You put it down. Then you itemize how you go about delivering the lesson. That's what we call preparation. So you want to plan the examples you'll be using. You want to list some key questions you'll be asking students and the expected answers you expect from them. You want to prepare some handouts, some materials to give to them. You want to prepare some visual aids by going to class with what? Teaching and learning resources, maybe a cardboard paper, drawing some things on it, all that. So it's part of the preparation. So preparation is what you do before entering the class. But to make the preparation effective, you will need an introduction that will tell students clearly what you are about to teach. So after introducing the topic, every student should have a gist of what we are going to learn for the day, or what they are going to learn for the day. Is that okay?
Yes, sir.
So as part of the preparation, you outline the introduction you'll be giving to your students. Then delivery, how are you going to deliver the lessons? How do you intend delivering the lesson? Which strategies are you going to use? So this is where your knowledge of what the strategies will matter. Are you going to use question and answers? You say you are using the lecture method. When you are using the lecture method, one thing you need to pay attention is to what? Maintaining eye contact with your student. You can't be talking to your student, your eyes are in the sky, looking at the roof. Let students watch your eyeball to eyeball. Focus on them, maintain eye contact with the student, with different students, not only one student. When you focus on only one student, the student will feel intimidated. There is a teacher I know, a male teacher that I know. When he's in class, the eye is only on one particular girl. So when you do that, the boys will start saying that, said, yeah, you only like Memphia, you don't like us. You like Memphia. Every time your eyes on Memphia, they'll start accusing you. Or you're a female teacher. Anytime you are teaching, your eye is on what? Kojo. They'll say that Madam is in love with Kojo every day, Kojo. You only use Kojo for your examples. You only use Ama for your examples. So maintain eye contact with your different students in the class. Vary your voice. We will come to these things when we are doing yes, I think method of speech. We will come back to this. It's a topic. Non-verbal cues. Vary your voice, facial expression, and all that when doing the lecture method. The reason is that the lecture method is very boring. The lecture method is very boring. So if you don't employ these techniques, you see that your student will be dozing off or sleeping. So you vary your voice. You use you illustrate examples with concrete points, stories, and all that. You involve students. Use question and answers as part of the lecture method to involve students. If not, they'll be passive. Are we clear on that? Then,
yes,
after
sir.
delivering the lesson, you summarize the lesson for the student. Today, we have talked a lot. We've talked about this to this. So, in summary, in short, in a nutshell, what are the salient points students must take note of? Then you itemize them shortly, briefly, and you go. That is summary. So after using the lecture method, the reason is that with the lecture method, you talk a lot. So after talking a lot, Now summarize it and let them know that these are the key things they need to what? Take notice of. Then you can check their comprehension after the summary by using your question and answers, asking them questions. So today we talk about this and this. Kofi, what is this? Amma, what is this? Joe, what is this? Patience, explain this. Aha. Any question that they say, yes, madam, I need clarification on this, then you explain, like you are doing here. Are we clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So I've told you how to use the question method. Question method is just like you're quizzing the student in order to know their views or obtain feedback from them. Are you getting it? So now let me ask, what are the benefits of using question and answers, questioning? What are the benefits of using questioning as your teaching strategy or technique? Everybody is giving me one. If I mention your name, give me one.
Okay, so let me start.
Okay, let me start.
Okay, to know whether what you taught them, they have understood it or not.
Very excellent. Abigail.
Master, this one I want to talk before you.
Okay, Sylvester, talk fast before they take the point.
Before you mention my name. Master, it's to engage the student.
To engage the student, I love that. Yes.
So let's go to coming.
Okay, you two coming.
Yes, to also know whether they are following what you are doing.
Exactly. To also know
They
whether
are following the lecture. Yes.
The lecture, or they are understanding you or not. Yes. Who else?
Okay. To also help the learners retain what they've learned.
To help the learners retain. If you ask them and they answer, they keep it in mind. That, hey, even say ask this question and I answered. They will not forget. Or the other people will be like, say ask this question and Zenabu answered. I remember very well. I can't forget. Yes. Who else?
So also, Master, to make the class active since they are participating.
Make the class very what? Active.
It's built.
Yes, it's what?
It's built confidence in the learners.
It builds confidence in your learners because you're engaging them. They are having the confidence to talk. And if you are not engaging them, they are timid. They are scared to talk. So it builds confidence. You see, there are myriads of what? Importance of using questioning and answers. I believe after this lecture, you start utilizing question and answers for your class. Is that the case?
Yes, sir.
Okay, we didn't talk about motivation. Do you know that question and answer motivates students? Because the student answers the question and you say, excellent, very good. You are motivating the student. I will take this answer, come for one toffee. Or let's clap for him, let's clap for her. So it's a way of motivating students. Okay. So now let's look at the types of questions. We have different types of questions. One is what? Direct question. Direct question is that you are asking the student, what is this? What is that? How is this done? How is that done? Or basically it comes with the word what? Direct. And direct questions are what? For memory, for recall. You want them to recall. What is this? What is that? So you want the student to recall what you have taught them. That is what? Direct questioning technique. Then we have another one called what? Probing. Probing is what? To probe further, to look into the thing, to cause students to go deeply into the thing. So it's normally what we call the follow-up questions. Okay, you said that what? Question and answer motivates student. How does it motivate the student? Then I'm asking a follow-up question, a probing question. So probing questions go beyond direct questions. Are we clear on that? Probing questions are meant to seek for clarifications, expansions, justifications. Okay, unlike direct question technique, which seeks to what? Recall knowledge. Probing goes beyond to clarify, explain what you meant by that. Yes, who is talking? Let me hear you. Okay, let's go on. So another type of questioning is what? High order questioning. So high order, we learned that in last week. Do you remember? High order. High order what? We said what? High order knowledge or deep knowledge. High order thinking. We mentioned something like that. High order thinking last. And we said that it involves what? Questions that requires students to what? Analyze, evaluate, compare. You get it? So high order questioning are mostly used to what? To deep into student understanding, not just knowledge, not just recall of knowledge, but to seek for student or deep understanding. So over there, you ask the student to analyze, to compare, to evaluate, okay, and effect differences, cause and effect analysis, weigh the options and see which one is best. So high order goes beyond what? Direct question, it goes beyond probing. Then last is what? Divergent. Divergent is for seeking for their opinions. So over there, you expect the student to what? Solicit ideas from what? Different contexts, either from different subject matters, different environments, different areas of life to answer the question. So we call divergent questions as questions that what leads to the expression of opinions or to make judgment, interpretations. So if you were the one in this case, what would you have done? Then you see that the student is coming to bring his or her opinion. Is coming to make his or her judgment on the topic or on the issue. If you're an employee and you go to work one day and your employer or your boss says that what, I'm tired of you, I'm not interested in you again, you are fired. What would you do? What would you have done? So you are teaching them about employment or employee-employer relations. And you ask this question, you see that they'll bring their judgment, they'll bring their opinions. Are we clear?
Yes, sir.
Any question at this point? Any question at this point? Okay, so there are certain things you need to know when you are asking questions. There are certain principles you need to know when asking questions, and there are certain pitfalls you need to avoid. In asking questions, avoid asking what? Questions that demand what? A direct answer. A question like, who can tell me? Who can tell me what management is? Avoid using such phrases. Okay, who can? So what if there's no one who can tell you? What will you do? You go on or you beat the student for not telling you? Can you tell me? What if I cannot tell you? So we say, well, think through the question before you ask as a teacher. Before you ask, some questions are there. The teacher is asking the question and the question is not questioning. I don't know if you've come across that. The teacher is asking a question, but the question is not questioning. He will ask the question, and by the time he finishes asking the question, he himself has forgotten the question he has asked. So please give yourself time. Think through the question before you ask students. So as part of your lesson preparation, note certain questions that you'll be asking students so that when you get there, you will not be fumbling or now thinking about how to ask the question.
Yes, sir.
Because you have already planned how to go about
No,
asking
sir.
the question. So when you get there, just ask the question. Hello.
No, sir.
Yes, let me hear you. Yes, I can hear you, Nathaniel. Ask your question. Nathaniel, we can ask you. We can hear you. Ask your question. Okay, let's proceed. Since Nathaniel, yes, is anyone talking? So we say the next strategy is what? Direct the question to the entire group. We call something harpooning. Harpooning means that what? You are always what? Throwing the question. You always mention the student name before asking the question. When you do that, student will perceive you as what? Being biased. You always like this student. You always like that student. You don't like us. That's why all the question, you mention Daniel's name before asking the question. You mention Abigail's name before asking the question. No, as a teacher, throw the question to the entire group, the entire class. What do we mean by what? Management has to do with what? quality of living. What we mean by management has to do with quality of living. Then you allow students some time to raise their hand up, to think through the question, raise their hands up. Then you mention them by their names. So you ask the question, students lift their hands, then you mention them to answer the question one. So throw the question to the entire class. Don't give it to only one person. Don't be mentioning one person's name even before asking the question. When you do that, it's what we call harpooning. And we say what? Avoid harpooning. Is that okay? So direct the question to
Yes,
the entire group. So, and I told you, avoid who can tell me. Who can tell me? Can someone tell me? What if there's no one to tell you? And remember to keep your question what? Simple. Keep it simple. Keep it simple and structured. So remember the word kiss. Kiss. I'm not saying go and kiss your student too. KISS is the acronym for keep it simple and structured. What are you keeping simple and structured? The question. Don't make the question too long. Don't make it too short. Let the question have both the stem and the what? The key. Let the question be such that it will be what? Simple and structured. I want to ask a question. What happens when this is done and then you don't do this? Then somebody comes to do this. After that, another person. Oh, what kind of question is that? Make the simple and structured. That is what we say KISS, K-I-S-S. K for keep, I for it, S for simple, another S for structured. Are we good to go?
Yes, sir.
Good. So when student asks you a question, as a teacher, pause to think through the question before you answer. Don't think you already know that the student is asking the question. Oh, okay. Then you cut the student and start answering. No. Allow the student to learn, think through the question and answer. And the same way, if a teacher, you throw question to the class or you ask the class a question, give them some before what? You let them answer. Don't ask the question and then you haven't finished asking the students. I shout, sir. Then you say yes. No. Let them think. If not, they'll be giving you what? Porous answer. They'll be giving you 4 answers. So when they think through, they'll give you the best. When they answer the question to ask a teacher, savour it. When we say savour it, acknowledge and savour it. Acknowledge the response. Okay. Savouring the response means that what? Oh, excellent. Oh, beautiful. All right, this is not too close, but I will take it. Don't tell us, your answer is wrong. Sit down. The answer is very bad. Sit down. No, as a teacher, when students answer questions you ask, acknowledge the answer and savour. If it is wrong, tell the student it is not perfect. Don't tell the student this is very, very bad. This is a very porous answer, very poor answer. No. Okay, that is your view. Fine. I will take it, but it's not appropriate. That's an excellent answer. Then the student knows that what? Sir has acknowledged my answer. Sir likes my answer. Sir doesn't like my answer. Then the student will come better next time. But if you don't acknowledge and savour, the student doesn't know it's correct or it's wrong. We have been doing that in oftentimes. Yes, you, yes, you, yes. We don't tell the student whether they are correct or not correct. Are you okay? So we've talked about the ways to use questions and answers. We've also learned about certain pitfalls. Avoid questions that demand a yes or no. Do you understand? Yes. Do you understand? No. I hope at this point you understand what we are teaching. Then you say, yes, sir, we understand, but this part. Could you raise your hand up if you don't understand anything at this point? The student cannot say yes, no. They will definitely raise their hand to ask or not raise. But when you ask questions that demand no or yes, the class will always be yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. Do you understand?
Sir.
Yes. Do you understand? No.
Hello, sir. Hello, sir.
Yes, I can hear you.
What
yes,
about
I can
if
hear
you
you.
say? What about if you say I'm not convinced with your answer?
That is a good
what
way.
you are,
at least you have acknowledged.
Okay.
Yes, at least you have made the student understand that what that is not a best the answer you are expecting. Okay. But you see, the concentration is that always try and not demotivate your students. Don't demotivate them. Okay. So the student has made the answer. Oh, well, you have attempted, you have tried, but I won't accept that. Then the student is not discouraged, but the student will come again. Okay.
Okay, sir.
All right. So let's move on now. We have talked about the discussion method. I told you that we have types of discussion. We have the whole class, and then we have small class, small group. The whole class discussion, and then the small group discussion. So the whole class discussion is normally what? Discussion that the entire group or the entire class must what? Engage in. So over there, you are involving everybody in the class. Okay, I want you to discuss the processes in what? Having effective teaching and learning. Then the whole class will be engaged in the discussion. Are you getting it? You don't take anybody out. But when you are using the small group discussion, you are putting them into groups. You can put them into what? Small groups, maybe group of 5, group of 6, group of 8, depending on the class size. Is that okay? Sometimes you don't want to have too many groups because you want everybody to partake. So you have group of 4, group of 5, and each group there are 8 people, 5 people, 7 people, depending on the class size. Is that okay? Now we have different types of small groups or small group discussion. We have been using them, but we just don't know about them, or we don't take notice of them. One is debate. Have you ever used the debate? So in debate, you realize that all the groups are all small, they are not that many. Say group 1, or we have 2 groups in this class. Group 1 or group A is taking 4 against for the discussion, and group 2 is taking what? Against. So I want to hear the 2 groups what? Discuss. One is for the motion, the other is against the motion. Do you get that? Have you been using that in your class? I'm dividing the class into 2. This group, you are taking this group, you are taking that. Debate on it. Have you been doing that? Class, have you been using that in your class?
Yes,
so what is the importance of using the debate method? So Clement, what is the importance of using debate form of discussion? What does it help to do or to achieve?
It helps the learners to participate and engage themselves. Then they either discredit their opponent based of point and support what they are stands for.
Okay, sir.
Okay, that's very good.
Moreover,
yes,
when they does that, because they always what?
When they do that, what happens?
Yeah, they always what? At the end, feel happy about what? The research that they have gathered to support themselves, and know very well that they have gathered enough evidence to create.
Very well. That is very true. Yes, Awini, let me hear you.
It's just that you are creating room to welcome divergent views from the class.
Excellent. When you are using the debate method, you are accepting divergent views, different views, in order to make the argument reach, the lesson read. Okay, that is also true. What Clement said is also true. Yours is also true. Yes, any lady to also help us. Abigail, are you there? Ami, are you there? Amina, Amina, I've not heard from you. Amina, what is the importance of using the debate method?
The other opponent by engaging them to support them.
Okay, thank you, Clement. Yes, Lordina, you want to say something?
I said it helps each student brings out their idea, their point.
That's very good. That is excellent. I think Awini said the same thing. Carl, Amina and Carl, where are you? Amina and MFA, let me hear from you. Sylvester, yes.
And
The men are talking, the ladies are quiet. Sylvester.
Master is both their
Yes.
confidence. Well.
Very well. You know, debate builds the confidence of students because they learn how to challenge each other, debate each other, so building their confidence. Very well. I mean, now let me hear you.
So it also motivate the students.
Okay, that is also true. Motivate them to take responsibility of their learning. MFA.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, what
It
will you
helps
say? What is
them
the
bring
importance?
out their,
It
it
helps them
helps the
what?
students it helps the students bring out their opposing views about the topic.
Their opposing view about the topic. Also very good. I was expecting to say that it builds their speaking abilities. Speaking.
Okay.
You see, when you do debate when you put them into debate, kindly mute for me if you are not talking. If you do the debate, you build student speaking abilities. Okay. So another way, kindly mute if you are not talking. Another way is the panel. The panel method. So the panel too is like panelists. You put them into a certain group, but with the panel, you divide the class into three.
I mean, I can't mute.
Everybody mute for me.
Huh?
I mean, I'm mute for me. I mean, I kindly mute. Yeah, so we are saying that what with panel. Hey, hello, Amina Alhassa, kindly mute.
Hello, sir.
Yes, can you mute for me?
Yes, please.
Okay, because of the feedback. Okay, so let's proceed. We are saying that using the panel method, the teacher divides the class into what? 3 to 6 students. So between 3 to 6 students, you put them in what? In a group, but mostly debates are into what? 2 groups. With debate, you put them into what? 2 groups or smaller groups, one on each side, another on the other side. So mostly 2 groups. But with the panel, you are putting about 3 to 6 students in groups. Then the students form what we call the panel, and they organize themselves and they discuss a topic or perform a research. Okay, so it's just close to the debate, but however, this one you have what? More smaller groups. Then there is one we also call the bar sessions. With the bar sessions, students are also placed in smaller groups for a specific amount of time to discuss a given topic. So with the bars, the difference is that with the bars, you give them what? Exact time. Okay, you have 2 minutes to do your presentation. You have 4 minutes to do your presentation. This group, you have what? 5 minutes to do your presentation. So when you do that, we call it bars sessions. They are all the same, just that these key dynamics make them different. Okay. Another one is a forum. With the forum too, it's a type of discussion that you put the students into a smaller or groups to present information to a larger group. So you have put the student into what? So let's say you have asked them to brainstorm, and then you call each group to come and present their ideas, their point to the class. That's what we call forum. You have given the forum to the student. So you say, give me the forum, give me the platform, give me the forum. You have given the forum to what? A group of students to present the lesson or to present what they have found to the class. At this point, do we have any question? Do you have any question?
No, sir.
Are you sure? So you understand what discussion method means, the 2 types of discussion method, the whole class, and then the smaller group discussion. Then when we come to the smaller group, you understand what we call debate, you understand what we call bar session, you understand what we call forum, you understand what we call panel. Are you telling me you understand everything?
No, sir. Please, the forum.
So the forum, I'm saying that as a teacher, you put students into smaller groups. Then you call one group to come and stand in front and tell the class what they have written down or what they have noted. So let's say brainstorming. They have brainstormed, you put them into groups to brainstorm. And you call each group to come and stand. So group 1, come to the front, tell the class what you have found. Group 2, come to the front, tell the class what you have found. That is what we call forum. Is that clear? So although you put them into groups, you give the forum to them, you give the platform to them to tell the class what they have. Are you getting it? So I've already talked about brainstorming. I've explained to you what brainstorming. I told you about the stages, that what you define the problem, then you give the student, you put them into group. You first define the problem, you put them into groups, then you let each group, you assign tasks to each group, then you let each group present what they have found. You write the answers in the board without what? Without any prejudice or without any bias, refusing to accept any. Then you now, together with the entire class, you strike out those that are good, those that are not good. Then you now settle on what? The good ones. If you have any, you add them as the teacher, you add on for the student to take note. Is that okay? That is basically brainstorming. So I'll leave that for you to go and read. It's the same thing I've explained to you. Is that okay?
Yes, sir.
So the steps are there. So we have other methods. I've talked about them. I've talked about role play. At this point, are we clear on role play? Are we clear on role play?
Yes, sir.
So there's another one also called field trips. Field trips. So what you have been calling excursion, you are taking the student to what? Excursion to Nestle Ghana, to go and see how they produce, how manufacturing is done, because you are teaching them manufacturing account. And you have taken them to Nestle Ghana or Nestle Ghana to go and see how the things are done there, how they arrange their machines, machine layout. That is what we call a field trip. You have been calling it excursion. Another one too is for case study. You take them to what? A certain environment that there is a certain issue, and let them see the issue and what, come out with ways to solve the issue. For instance, you take students to let's say the hospital. That could also be a field trip, but maybe there is a case of what you want them to learn how to care for people. So you want them to study how the nurses are taking care of what? Patients. So that when they come to class, they will learn how to care for each other, how to take care of the needs of each other. We can call that also a case study. Or you give them a case. Let's say the case of student 2-1C, student not coming to school, running away from class when the school is all over. That is a case. Okay, you let them study that case and bring out ways of solving it. Okay, then another method is demonstration. As a teacher, you come and demonstrate how the thing is done, or you bring a resource person to come and demonstrate how the thing is done. So demonstration basically means that what? Doing the thing practically for students to see, and also what? Exemplify it, or also emulate it. See how it is done and also try to do it. Are you getting it? So demonstration method is more practical than lecture method. So the assignment I'll give you is that go and look at what is game and simulations. When we say game and simulations, what does it mean? Next week I'll ask all of you. Game and simulations.
Okay.
And then
similar.
Yes, you want to answer?
Next week.
Yes, so next week go and look at it. The reason I'm asking you to look at it is that there is a thin line between game and simulation and then role play. Role play and game and simulations are almost the same. So when you research, you come and tell me what the differences are, because I've already explained to you role play. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so now let's take the last one, so the last section for Unit 6, the use of resource persons. We have already talked about, have we? Have we talked about the use of resource persons?
Yes, sir.
Do we need more information on that?
No, sir.
If no, then I'm coming to ask you a question. So, under what circumstance in my lesson, or at what stage of my lesson, would I know that I need a resource person to handle this part? At what stage of my lesson?
Planning.
Okay, MFI, you said what? At the planning
stage.
Can I clap for you? Okay, who else? I want someone to go into details at the planning stage. So when I'm at the planning stage, which specific stage will I, within the planning stage, would I know that this one there I need a resource person?
Sir, please,
Yes.
if it happens that there's a particular aspect of it that you are not conversant with or trying to explain further, then that is when you
Excellent. So as part of your planning, as MFA said, you have gotten to a stage, you know that this thing, I'm not clear with it. I wish I could get somebody the lawyer who is in court to come and tell us more about how contracts are made, how considerations are given. Because consideration in English means consider somebody, but over here they are saying it's something of a character. So let a judge or lawyer come and explain. So at that stage, you know that, no, I have to bring in what? A resource person. Are you getting it? So what is another question is that what is the benefit of bringing a resource person to your lesson, into your lesson? Yes, class.
The learners are able to get first-hand information.
Okay, the learners are able to get first-hand information. Interesting. First-hand information. The thing, not the bookish information, the first and the practical information. Yes, any other?
Please, it makes lessons more real than just theory and it makes it
Very
practical.
beautiful. It makes the lesson more practical. Okay, so let me ask you that again. When you bring in a resource person to the class, what is the first thing to do?
Sir, you introduce him or her to the class and let the learners.
Clap for Arini. So the first thing is that what you have to introduce the person to the class and let the learners know who the person is. You can't bring somebody to the class and the person will say, okay, we are learning this. Meanwhile, the person is not a teacher. We'll be confused. So first introduce the person to the class. Tell to them why the person is there and how long the person will be there, what the person will be taking, or the part of the lesson the person will be delivering. Are you getting it? So another question is that after the resource person is done, what must the teacher do?
The teacher should allow the learners to ask the resource man the questions.
Very well. Any other person? The resource person must be asked questions by students. So teacher must let students ask the resource person questions. These things we have been doing it, but just that we have not been doing it well. So what else must the teacher do after the resource person is done?
The teacher must appreciate the resource person for coming.
The teacher must thank the resource person, appreciate the resource person. Okay, so you have to thank the person for leaving their busy schedules and coming to help you and your students. So you thank them. So after the resource person is done, what must the teacher do? After the resource person is done,
the teacher is supposed to assess the learners.
Very well. So the teacher must assess the learners, or the teacher must summarize before assessing the learners. The teacher must summarize everything the resource person said. Okay, so the resource person might have spoken in technical terms that some of them the learners may not understand. So as a teacher, after the resource person is done, you have to summarize everything to their understanding before you assess them. Is that okay?
Okay, sir.
Okay, so at this point, any question? Any question, contribution, something that we didn't talk about, something you experienced and you want to bring it to class? Yes,
Hello,
class.
sir. Hello,
Yes,
sir.
Amasa. Yes, Amasa.
Master, good evening once again.
Good evening
Master,
once again, Master.
Master, please, my question is about the class, our class. Maybe
Okay.
assuming there's a boy or a child in the class who is supposed to use the word common for you to understand and explain, help me. And then maybe such a child is always causing trouble, and then maybe it has even come to a time that the children in the class themselves are tired or fed up with the child. And then maybe uh, you, in fact, I want to know how should I handle the class, a child like that in the class?
So
In
you
terms
mean
of
you
the
mean the
child
child is distractive?
very distracted. Even sometimes homework, he won't come with it.
Exactly. So that is good. I've gotten the question. So you see, as a teacher, your responsibility is to make teaching and learning easy for students. Always remember that you're a facilitator. That means that you facilitate what? The lesson. You want students to what? You want to make learning easy for the students so that they don't struggle. So if there are misdemeanors in the class or disruptive behaviors in the class, remember that as a teacher, you must manage your class appropriately. You must take responsibility of your class, or you must have command over the class. That being said, it doesn't mean that you should be what? You should be, how do I even put it? You should be very authoritative. You should be very wicked to the student. If you say a student is disruptive and you sack the student from the class, remember that the student will not be able to what? Listen to all that you have taught, and the student will fail your exam or your test. So the best thing is that we call something technical ignorance. One, when the student is doing that, you, the teacher, you may use eye. You may use your eye to what? Indicate displeasure for the student to know that say it's not happy with what I'm doing. You can use your eye to communicate to the student. We call it nonverbal cues, that I don't like that. Another way is what? You can ignore what the student is doing and not pay attention to the student. You know, some students, when they are doing the thing, you pay attention to them. That's when they do it more. So you ignore them as if you are not, your focus is not on them. You are not interested in what they are doing. They will feel embarrassed and they themselves, they will stop. But when you want to use a disciplinary measure, a punitive measure, always know that you must not use a punitive measure that will deprive the student from partaking in the class. So the best thing is that you tell the student that for misbehaving, I will punish you, but see me after the class. It is also wrong to let students kneel down while you are teaching, because remember the student is going through what? A reinforcement, a negative reinforcement, and the student may not pay attention to what you are teaching because it's already going through pain. Or another person will say, go and kneel down outside. Another person will say, face the wall and kneel down. No, all those measures are used to check misdemeanors. However, be careful they don't what? Prevent the student from benefiting from what you are teaching. So the best way is what? You use technical ignorance. You make the student understand that what? For this misbehavior, I will punish you, but I'll punish you after class. And make sure you indeed punish the student so that it will serve as a deterrent to others and for the student not to remember, redo that or do that again. Is that okay? So there are several ways, but just make sure that what? You do not deprive the student the opportunity to take part in the lesson. Are you answered?
Yes, sir. Very answered, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Okay. So at this point, any other question? If no question, is anyone having a question? Please, do we really understand what we have learned?
Clearly, sir.
Is that the voice of the class or the voice of Arini?
That's the voice of
the voice of the class.
The voice of the class.
Hello, sir.
Yes, madam.
Please, I would suggest that you put the recorded version on the page. Okay.
Yes, so I don't do the recording. I don't know if you people are doing the recording. And I don't know, there's a monitor from code on the page, and I don't know whether they are doing the recording. If not, one of you have to.
When you started, I had a signal that the lectures is being recorded. That's why.
Okay. Yeah. So it means that the monitor on the page is recording the class. So the monitor will put it where will play this, listening to us. We play that the person will put the recording on the page for you.
Okay. Thank you.
So, okay, class. Let's discuss this thing once and for all. Our class was to be on yesterday, or it's supposed to have taken place yesterday, 4 to 6. But because of some few inconveniences, I discussed with your colleagues, and then we brought it to 4 to 6 today. But I was just informed that there are people who have class between 4 and 5. So they were not able to, they had classes, they were not able to join, or they joined lately. So in view of that, so in view of that, you suggest that we bring the class early in the morning, probably after church, if it is 1 to 3, 2 to 4.
So please, can it be evening?
And other people to have class in the evening, I think they have MIS.
We have not class in the evening.
Please, some of us have class at 7 p.m. to 10. When we bring it in the evening, it didn't help us.
Yes. So can we bring it forward? Probably 1 to 3 or 2 to 5. Sorry.
When it says 5,
hello? Are we okay with 1 to 3?
No, please, what time are you suggesting?
1 to 3. I'm suggesting 1 to 3 on Sunday.
1 to 30.
Okay. For me.
1 to 3 or 2 to 4. Which one would be okay
On
with
the same day, right?
Yes, on this same day, Sunday.
Okay, that's
so that others who had the classes will not have that problem.
Yes, so let's conclude 1 to 3 or 2 to 4.
If you can hear me,
because I don't know about the company and partnership law. Maybe we will also have a class again 3 to 5. So 1 to 3, then after this class, then we join the other one.
So 1 to 3 is okay, right?
But company and partnership has ended us.
It has ended, Unit 3, he is done.
Now we meet after the quiz.
And
next week is supposed to be a break, so it's only your class that will be having.
Yes, we will have class next week because we didn't have the first meeting. Okay, so we'll have class next week. What time are you suggesting for Sunday?
Sir, there's a break. Then why don't we do it Saturday early morning? Or you wouldn't be available?
No, Saturday I'm not available. Saturday I'm really tight. Yes. So if you don't have any class on Sunday, then 1 to 3 is not a problem, right?
Okay, yes, 1 to 3 is fine. 1 to 3.
Right. Are we all okay?
Yes, please.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Class 1 to 3. Is that a unanimous decision?
Yes, sir.
Why are the others not talking?
Or yes, please. Yes, please.
Silence me concern.
Okay.
Yes,
so
yes, 1 to 3.
Very well. So I want this class to. I want this class to have a rep. So class, who do you want to be your rep? Just one. I just pick one person. Who are you nominating? Somebody who is.
Hello, sir.
Yes, I'm.
Clement.
Clement.
Yes, sir.
Hey, Clement's network. Clement's network. Yes.
It's not every day that it will be like that.
It's not every day that it will be like that.
Yes.
Okay. let's leave that. I wanted a rep that I can be in touch with, so that if anything, we'll communicate with you. But because all of you are from different centers, let's just leave it like that. But communicate to all your friends that next week the class is Sunday 1 to 3.
Let's create a WhatsApp group so that any information you put it
And we
there.
already on a WhatsApp.
It's a WhatsApp group.
So if you are not there, can you join?
Not there.
Okay,
so follow the level 300 link. Follow the level 300 links that has been posted. You will see methods of teaching management. Then you join.
Yeah,
it's
so
there.
you kindly take the number and help her. Okay, all those who are not on the WhatsApp page, contact Ruth. Let Ruth help you. She will send you the link.
Then please.
She'll send you
I am putting my number here. You WhatsApp. I'm putting.
So everybody, look at the comment section. Look at the comment section. Ruth's number is there, so that you contact her to send you the link.
Give me pen. Give me pen.
So her number is 054.
WhatsApp me, then I send you the link. I've sent my number.
Please, can you all see the
Also,
link?
do not know where to
on
find the
page.
number. Please go to the three dots. Click on it. You see messages. Then you click on messages. You see my number there. Then you WhatsApp me. When you WhatsApp me, then I give you the link. Okay.
Please, are we all clear?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. In the absence of any question, we call it a night. Okay. Everybody make sure you're on the group. Tell your friends who are not joining the class that if they don't join presentation when they show up, I won't show up. Just explain to them like that. If they are not joining the class presentation, they show up, I also show up.
Very big.
Listen to them, okay?
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Yes, master.
I will chat to help me.
Master, we can't hear you. What are you saying? Yes.
I'll take about my personal.
Okay. I'm on the platform. If you can test me if you have any issue, okay? All of you, I'm on the platform. If you need any clarification, anything you want to talk to me about, kindly WhatsApp me. Please don't call. WhatsApp.
Thank you, sir. No problem.
Okay. So all the best. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Please hold on. I'm
Mr.
putting
Sly.
this thing over there. Okay. Then you click on it. So please check the messages. I've placed the link there. Then you click on it. Okay.
Hello.
Ma. 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 Ma.